Welcome to the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. We discuss 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know how to be concise. We'll jump right into it. Question number 1. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Shelley Hunter, and I am actually Gift Card Girlfriend. I run a really popular consumer-facing blog for a business. But additionally, I just started another side business that I hope to grow called Faithful Career Moves, where I help people really kind of pivot in their careers. And I'm specifically right now leaning into an area where I feel a great need of women who have chosen to be stay-at-home moms who need to re-enter the workforce. And so I'm really passionate about helping people in that position.
That is a great place to be because that is very much needed for people anywhere in any situation trying to, as you say, pivot. So well done. Thank you for contributing in that way. Well, question number 2, what's the best thing about working with a team?
You know, what I love about working with a team is that people have different strengths. And when they are on a good team that's utilizing their strengths, everybody works really well together. Where I think it's challenging, and this is often the case with any kind of a startup, is the person starting the business has to do it all. They're the web developer, they're the SEO guy, they're the marketing and sales. As a company grows, though, it's really important to get the right team members engaged. And then I think it's equally important as the person who was doing all of it to kind of let go and let those subject matter experts come on board and shine in the way that they were meant to.
Great comment about that delegating and letting go. Very difficult, but you're absolutely right. It's got to be done. Question number 3, I hear from other leaders of teams that it can be a challenge to get team members engaged. Tell us your thoughts.
Boy, I think that is challenging because people are so different. And I've worked with a number of teams where I'll tell you a mistake I made early on. A first real management role I had 20 people reporting to me, and I would say only 3 or 4 were junior to me. The others were senior. And so this was a real challenge for me. And I felt like, well, you know, I don't know what I can do for these people who are above me, but the people who are junior to me, I should be able to really help and mentor them. And I went in approaching them as what I would want and what I would need. And what I found out is I was really stressing them out, that they were quite happy doing the junior level work they were doing. I myself thought, well, I wouldn't be comfortable doing that. And so I tried to help them grow and learn and do all this stuff, and they were stressed out of their minds. And so it really taught me early on that you have to figure out what motivates each person. And some people they have career desires and things that they want to achieve and progression. And other people really want to earn a paycheck and go home to their families and not think about it on the weekend. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong. So I think getting people engaged it's kind of hard, but you got to figure out where they're at to begin with and what they want, not what you want for them.
That's a great approach. Great approach. Question number 4, what other piece of advice would you give to leaders of teams?
You know, I've thought a lot about this. I have worked on a number of teams where you come in and some people feel like they're not allowed to expand within their role because they have to run everything by a leader. And sometimes that is because the leader acts that way, and other times it's because a former leader acted that way and they're not sure what they can do. So I feel like it's really important to allow people to grow in their position. I know I've said that kind of answered all your questions in the same way, but I find that people really do excel when they feel empowered to step in and step out, still within the bounds of what, you know, the team is trying to accomplish, but they should feel empowered on whatever level they're operating on. They should feel empowered to at least do their job and extend themselves. And if that means, you know, over time, they run things by you enough times that then they come back and, you know, I guess you both gain trust with the amount of freedom they're taking. But as that grows, I think people can really do well for themselves, but they can also help you as a leader have an exceptionally performing team when you have people that feel engaged and empowered in the things that they're doing.
That's a great comment, great insight. Question number 5, what other successful leaders of teams, such as yourself, would you like to recognize that have had a positive influence in your life?
I'm going to call out somebody. This is Michael Collins. I have worked for him done freelance work for him for about 16 years. And the reason I'm going to call him out is because I have been a stay-at-home mom throughout my whole career. I'm a work-at-home mom, not throughout my whole career. When I had children, I wanted to work from home, be with them, but I still needed to pay the bills. And I met Mike through a couple things, but one thing that I really loved about him is that he tapped into the stay-at-home mom network, because he realized how many women like me had a career mind, or they were educated in some way, or they had a lot that they could contribute, but they had chosen to stay home with their children. And he really gave me some exceptional opportunities. I did research for a book. I ran some marketing clubs he had. I did a bunch of different things that really positioned me well for the career I then resumed. And I've always thought that what he did was so well was he wasn't constrained by people's work environments. He was happy to take whatever people could give. And of course, as a stay-at-home mom, I did my best to keep the kids quiet, but I didn't have to fake my way through it. And I know that he's gone on to, he has big teams now and is quite successful in what he's doing. But I think he's always really good at allowing people the freedom to, whatever their work environment is, to excel in it. And then they do their best work. I know I did my best work for him. I learned so much from him because I felt that he understood my personal situation to the extent that it didn't get in the way.
Well, thank you for recognizing him. That's certainly some great character traits that he has to be able to empower people, like you talked about earlier, but also to be sensitive to the situation and work with people where they are. So that's a great acknowledgement. Well, question number 6, tell us about your first job.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? My first job, I worked for my dad. My dad, I'll give you 2 answers. He was early involved in computers, and he brought home a computer that stretched clear across the kitchen table. It was a personal computer, if you could believe it, but it was huge. And to me, like kids nowadays, when they get technology, they have no fear. And so that's how I approached this computer. And I did work for many years for him, learning what he was doing and trying to help him. And that was great for me because I went off to college knowing that I wanted to be involved in computers. But my first job that I worked for somebody else, I worked in the snack bar at an athletic club, thinking that would be great because I could use the club for free. And what I found is after being at that club all day, I didn't want to work out for free. I just wanted to go home. So it kind of taught me a little bit about needing some personal separation from my job.
Well, that's a really important principle as well. But thank you so much for sharing that. And also thank you, Shelley, for being on the podcast today. How can people find you?
So my website is called faithfulcareermoves.com, and you can find my social media and other contact information there as well.
Great. Thank you. This is Sean Richards with the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. For more ideas, you can find us on LinkedIn by searching Blue Sky Business Consulting. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.